Hi, party people. Today we're talking about the top 100 board games of all time, according to Pub Meeple, and myself. This is number 70 right here, and let's go right into it. Number 70 is called Suro. Suro is a tile placement dragon game. It's nice because you can play with up to 8 people. If you guys haven't heard my backstory, I do board game events for people of all types, whether you've played or never played before. That's my full-time job. And this is a really good one for people who have never touched a board game because you quite literally cannot mess it up. You can technically self-destruct yourself, but you can't actually like break the game for anyone. It's very easy. You just pick up a tile, you put it in front of your color, and then you just follow the path. Your goal is to knock other people off or slash stay alive as long as possible. Last one still on the board wins. It is a player elimination game, but because the game takes like 20 minutes, no one's really mad about it because no one really gets eliminated for the first half of the game. In the last few, it just goes faster and faster. So super fun game. Technically, there can be multiple winners. It's happened, I think, once where all three of us stayed alive to the very end. It was very difficult, but it was technically possible. Sorry, 69, we have Hard to Get. Hard to Get is a very fun, cooperative, word-based game. It's the same layout as Codenames with about 24 to 30 words on the table. You choose one person to be the knower, everyone else is a guesser. The knower selects one word on the table, or you can randomly have it assigned based on a deck of cards. Um, and then the guessers have to try to figure out what that word is. Now, the knower cannot say anything, give any preface, can't help at all whatsoever. And the only way you can give hints is you draw from a deck of cards, and the words will either say, like, Michael Jackson or McDonald's. Usually it's not that abstract, but sometimes it really can be. So it would be like rusty or new. And you have to put the word facing up for whichever one the knower is selecting. So, for instance, if I put rusty up, that means that the word I want you to guess, or the word I want you to try to figure out, is more rusty than it is new. So everything that might be new, you'd remove from the board. So things like Fortnite might be relatively new. And it all depends on, it's like subjectivity. It's very abstract. You really can't get mad at people too much unless like you really mess up. It's a fun game where whether you win or lose, it's all a good time, and you go in with the expectation of losing, and if you win, it's like a nice bonus. And that is hard to get. It's a new game too. Donut Shop is a relatively new game at 25th Century. This was a game at our sponsored event last year, our convention Caravan Convoy located in Orlando, Florida, and it's happening this year on April 26th, 2025. But Donut Shop is a fun game. It's a tile placement game with a recipe fulfillment section where you want to help yourself without helping your opponents too much. You box up donuts that you have cards for. You will either get a card randomly and a tile you want, or a tile randomly and a card you want. The cards allow you to box the donuts properly. Boxing donuts is how you get a lot of money. Um, but also you want to, put the donuts together, but you don't want to put too many donuts together to help someone else have like a really good box. So it's a fun game. It's a nice tile placement game, and it's new. This one is Villainous. Now, this one is the Villainous' entire series. I'll say that much. Oh, so 70, 69, 68, 67. This is for the entire series of Villainous, not for Disney Villainous at least. Um, Disney Villainous is a fun game. It is one of the games that got me into board gaming that made me decide to do it as a business back in like 2020. It was a really cool game about everyone chooses a Disney villain, which, it's hard to find games that allow you to be the villains. Not really anymore. Back in 2020, there weren't too many that let you do that. And then you have your own objectives. You would fate other people to hurt them. The game definitely got broken later in life, which is why I stopped playing it as much, sadly. Mainly because usually fating people hurts them. But after the first two sets, you kind of want to be fated to the point where your deck actually allows you to fate yourself. Um, which means essentially you can't really hurt other people, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. This game is a fun game. It definitely is a game that like should be fixed, in my opinion, but tis what tis. It is obviously 67 on my list. Now we're going to 66. We have Dice Throne. Dice Throne is a dice battler fighting game, which it's pretty simple. It's like a Yahtzee-based system. You roll up to 3 times, keep whatever you want to keep, utilize the abilities on your board. I don't like team games at all, so I don't play this in the 2v2 mode. But I have played the free-for-all mode, the 1v1 mode, and the the King of the Hill mode, where it's like basically a 3-person free-for-all. It's a very fun game. I played the second set and the Marvel set. I want to play this more often. I want to run tournaments for this game. It's a very, very cool system. I'm excited for the X-Men set that just got released. I really want the Deadpool one. I'm a huge Deadpool guy. Hopefully it's not broken. Because in media, Deadpool really is ruins the games because it's like you can't even play him regularly. Like Unmatched, they made Deadpool way too OP. Which is why he's banned from all the tournaments, sadly. Marvel Munchkin, you have to like rip the cards, which I don't want to do because now I have to destroy my game. But hopefully it's done well in Dice Throne. But Dice Throne is a fun dice chucker fighting game with only boards you have are like your character board to tell you your power. So it's pretty nice. Um, I would say definitely worth the money for at least like one base set. Itchy Feet. I think this is 65. Itchy Feet is this is why I have to say it's top 100 according to Pub Meeple, because my top 100 will 100% be different. Itchy Feet is not the side on this list. It's a fun game. It's a card game based on a comic strip. It definitely has a ton of events in there. That's like an expansion. You don't have to use it, but it does make the game significantly more fun. Your goal is to essentially trade and grab cards to allow you to um, get items to go to different countries. Everyone's goal is to go to your country in front of you, and then whoever goes to the middle country first wins, which is just traveling twice. The other objective are the postcards. Whoever gets 4 out of 6 postcards will win. Almost everyone I know wins based on postcards, but it's a fun little quick game. It takes like 20, 30 minutes. Everyone has a good time, but real board gamers are like, what? I'm just gonna. I'm like, it's fast, it's simple, it is what it is. You know what I mean? This game definitely deserves a spot on the list. I think it's 64. This is a fun game. This is a super dope game. Sabernick Forest is a game by DeVere. It is a tile placement game where you're building a fort. It has to be a 4x4 um, game. It technically is tile placement, even though you're just placing cards, but anything like that is tile placement, technically. You either choose an animal or you choose paths, and then the animals go down that path to eat. Each animal can only eat certain types of food, and they're worth different points depending on what you get. Depending where you choose, you'll get like acorns, or you'll get water, or you'll get like burrows, which allow you to eat more. It's just a fun, cool game that you really have to like think about. It's not like AP inducing at all, and I really want to play the 1v1 mode where instead of doing a 4x4, you do a 4x8. Um, because in a 1v1 you discard half the cards, but in this one you would use all the cards in the game. I like this game a lot. It's a very fun game. It takes over my table anytime we can. It's always a game like I'm down to play. Not many are. I need to make a list of those games because not too many games I'll play like almost any point in time. This is definitely one of them. Super Hot the card game is I think it's the only game that's like a solo game. I haven't played the 2-player version. I haven't played the 3-player version. This is one of the few games where it's a solo game that I play that's actually my top list. Super Hot the card game is a very fun, interesting game. I'm a video game IP junkie, which does help, but I do like the fact that depending on the amount of actions you take affects how fast the board goes. You can definitely get into a fail state with too many bullets on the screen, which could suck, and that's how you lose. But I like the fact that like it's weird because when you use a card, it's not even a deck builder really because like when you use a card, it goes away. However, you'll gain cards into your deck based on how many cards you use. So it's an interesting rotating system in there. I like it for its ingenuity. It's a game that I can actually play for like 20, 30 minutes and time just flies by when I play it. I really want the player mat for this game because the paper one really sucks. Just because like anything that has like folded creases in there you have to play the cards on. Cards don't weigh that much, and you can't flatten out because by the time it's flattened out, you fold it up again, put it back in the box. So I'd really like the neoprene mat for this. Gray Fox did a great job with this game, and the video game is such a great IP. I was surprised to see like a quality card game based on this. I'd love to see a board game based on it pretty soon, but that's just me. This is I think the only game that I play solo in general, and it deserves its spot in my top 100. At number 61, we have Lure. So Lure is a new game by Allplay. It is a fishing-based game, dice chucker, push your luck game, which I like all those things. Uh, Basically, what happens is that there's fish in the middle of the table, one for each player plus one, I think. Actually, I think it's just a flat three or five, depending on the player count. It is a 2 to 5 player game. You bid the amount of dice you want to use for that round, and depending on how many you bid, that's how many dice you're able to roll. Um, and depending on how many dice you roll, that's how many you can capture on your turn. But they all have different criteria. Some might say like you have to roll at least 8 and have them all the results be even. So if you roll more dice, you have a lower chance of having it be all even. But if you don't catch anything, there are lures you can use, which you'll grab them and it'll help you in your future turns, such as modifiers +1, -1. You have certain numbers specifically. It is a pretty interesting game. Um, the only complaint is that the scoring can definitely be like a runaway. If you have a really good turn with the low dice, which the game encourages, and you should definitely try to go for at least once in the game. I've gotten to places where we've had all low numbers on the board. It's like 4, 6, 6. And I just flip over a 6 token. I go first because everyone else has dice. I don't even use any dice. Collect all of them. Um, and the expansion is really cool. It adds like that fifth player on top of the fact it adds like the hook or I think the flag system. Whatever it is you get certain traits. It's a single trait. Whoever has the most of it will get 7 points. Whoever has the least of it will lose 7 points. So it encourages you to go for certain types of fish while you can. But that is everything on my top one on my 70 to 61 right now. What games do you want to see my top 100? What games have you heard about on this list? Let me know in the comments below. I'm very interested to see what my top 20 end up being. I've only glanced at this list really. I only know my number one, which if you see my other videos, spoiler alert. If you want to see other my other videos in the series, go and watch the other 3 or 4 right now and my YouTube channel. Subscribe to see more of these videos, and I hope to see you guys later. Peace out. God bless. Have a great day.